What's up everyone, my name is ChrisALOO and welcome to a new video series I'm doing called Inefficient But Works. This video series is going to be emphasizing game design, working with C#, working with Unity. This is going to go beyond just scripting and world building. This is going to go into actually creating a game that is worthwhile, story, environment, overall feel, just making a game that's really worth it. Now, as an indie developer myself, as well as being someone who's played a lot of indie games and big title games as well, the first thing you're going to want to do with any type of project you want to do is you want to have a good story, something to tell. If you just do a run-of-the-mill kind of game that everybody else is doing, you're not going to stand out, you're not going to be noticed. A good example of this is when the Slender games came out. Slender games were kind of a little bit more difficult to make than, say, some of the newer ones that you'll be seeing around, which I will mention in a minute. Slender games, the concept of them kind of was difficult to make at the time. Not everybody knew how to code and script. So that was a very effective game series. The few that came out were great. Some of them were tired and true, but you could apply almost any type of monster, entity, lore, mythos, whatever into it, and it would work most of the time. In fact, the game I'm designing outside of this right now, Livedale Forgotten Birthright, originally in terms of its design phase and project origin, started off as a Slender game. But eventually we took away from that and implemented our own type of mythos monsters and so on and so forth. And then whenever Five Nights at Freddy's came around, that's to me when indie game creativity almost died almost overnight, because everybody wanted a piece of Five Nights at Freddy's. I have all the respect for Scott Cawthon, and he is an inspiration to me, but everybody who kind of jumped on the bandwagon, because Five Nights at Freddy's games were the FNAF games were so much easier to make than Slender games that everybody and their brother kind of made one. So you want to come up with something that's original, that's unique. Pick a mythos or a creepypasta that you like, or even use inspiration from your own life, like what we're going to be doing with here. As some of you guys know, I have been in a sticky situation with my mental health for a good number of years. Probably about the past, 18 years of my life it's been like that. I'm 28 next month. I have been in a mental ward before as a result of my mental illness, so I'm using that as inspiration for this particular project. So the first thing we're going to want to do is have a good story, and in this story you are playing as somebody who is in a mental ward, and it's going to have some very Lovecraftian themes, and he doesn't know there's going to be two different sequences. There's going to be dream sequence, and then there's going to be realistic sequence, like life, awake and dream. We'll call it awake and dream. And with that, the player, or the character you play as, known as Finn, will not know which is which, and it'll be very hard for you to distinguish between the two. So we're going to be creating the first scene, which involves a dream sequence of his room. So you want to make sure you download as many assets as you can that will pertain to your story. I will kind of show, I've purchased a ton of these assets before. This game was actually supposed to be the game I entered for Adventure Jam in 2018. I hate it when Asset Store does that, but it was supposed to be the original game I made for Adventure Jam in 2018, but it would take too long to make and do it any justice. So I went ahead and made Duat, which was a negative. That was a bad idea because that game did not go over well. So let's start by creating the environment. Now, in order to build, this is going to be a basic bedroom. It's going to simulate my bedroom from whenever I was a child. So we're going to use some prefabs from the Uni Modular City Builder, which I don't think this has a price, but it might. Those are pre-made buildings. Okay, let's go to prefabs. Modular pieces. None of these have any pictures half the time because they're all prefabs. So let's try to find the floor. Column, door, floor, tile. No, we don't want that kind of tile. We don't want floor tiles at all right now. Let's see if we can't get some carpet, which we might actually be able to pull that off with just with a cube, which might be what we have to do. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to pull it off with a cube. So let's go ahead and create a floor. So we'll use 3D object. We'll use a cube. Cubes tend to work a lot better for me. because they're a little bit easier to manage. So I'm just going to do this, and we will extend it out that way a bit. And I have some pictures on my computer. Let's go to pictures. Let's look up carpets. There we go. Seamless carpet texture. I did use this in Livedale Forgotten Birthright. So that is actually really irritating right there. So let's go ahead and adjust this. Tiling, we will do it 5 by 5. This tiling increases the amount of times a tile is repeated on a surface. And to help with our distinguishing of how decent it is, we did the wrong thing on delete game object. We got to delete the main camera. You can get the prefab for the first-person controller, which is what we are going to be using as soon as we can get to it without screwing something up. There we go. From the standard assets, you can get that from standard assets. Oh, I hit the wrong arrow. Come on. There we go. Wrong one again. Dang it. There we go. Haha. Now, obviously, this room is way too small, so we need to expand it and change the tiling. There we go. So let's go ahead and let's see where we're at. Yep. Let's change it to 10 by 10. Let's give it a quick compiler errors. How are there compiler errors? Oh, I gotta change the third person. Let's clear all that. All right. Yes, we are not doing a third person AI, so we'll go ahead and delete that. That was probably from a previous asset. So let's go ahead and test this out now. Give it just a second to be ready. Takes a little while sometimes. Little spitty thing down the corner. Still more compiler errors. Let's clear. Oh, cancel please. Cross-platform initializer. Yeah, this for some reason this one constantly gives me crap every time I start a new project. Let's delete that. That asset constantly gives me crap. I don't know why it does it. Sorry, this is a bit of an irritating start. It has to freshen up, I suppose. Oh, why did you... Okay, yeah, so it's just uploading the Visual Studios. So far, we have to change the smoothness. Smoothness makes that little shiny effect that I don't like. You can probably hear that through my mic, which it's not supposed to do that. That's why, because it's going through my speakers. Close mono develop. There we go, it's a little bit better. Yeah, this room probably will need to be just a slight bit bigger, not by much, which means we're going to have to change the tiling. Let's go down here into the smoothness, turn that off. Metallic makes it a little bit darker, so we'll do that. And we will then expand on it just a bit. There we go. Change the tiling on it to, let's do 12 by 13, so it looks a little more even that way. Alrighty. Let's do the normal map, see if we got any normal textures I can use. Normally, doing the normal textures kind of gives it an illusion of depth, which is always nice. Here's an example. See that? It gives it a slight illusion of depth, even though that's not at all what we want done, but that's sort of like a description of it. Random vector. That was my cat sneezing. Nah. So we'll actually say none to this, since we don't have one needing it. We'll just go on and look for one later. And to give it a feel, that seems about the right size for the room we wanted to go, if not just a little bit smaller. And now we need to start adding walls. Right now for this video we're just doing some world building. Let's see, door. Regular, is this a regular wall? Yes, but we need a bit of a longer one. Sorry, my dogs are also barking in the background. Gotta give me some slack with that. Okay, there we go. As you can tell, the player is distinctively taller than this wall. Luckily, it does have its own physics. It also has have a reverse texture, which is not something you'll see on a lot of things. So we need to raise it up just a bit. Let's just increase the size just a little bit there. Up. And now let's move it up just a tad. Hey, it actually stays right there. You'll have to put that right about there. All right. I don't think there's a longer version of this wall, is there? No. Now we're going to have a couple windows in this wall. Let's Control D. And Control D does a duplication. To help keep this some degree of stabilized, we're going to label these as walls. I'm going to put both these walls. Let's put them down in here with these walls just to keep it even, God. Alrighty. I might speed this up a bit so you guys can see this without having to see me be stupid. Alright, we're going to move these into the corner here. Double up on its creation. Alrighty, so we actually do need to shorten this just a hair. Alrighty, this is actually looking really, really nice. So far, and take pride in the small things that you do. Seems to be lacking out slightly. Don't know why it's doing this. I shouldn't do this at all. Go ahead and turn off mono develop. It might be causing an issue here. There we go. I don't know why I did that. Oh well, shit happens. Stop it, please. There we go. Actually, we don't need to do that. We will just take one of these walls, duplicate it, spin it 90 degrees. So that way it stays on par and on level with the carpet. Angle it right there. It doesn't matter if it overlaps, intersects, because you can't really see it right there. Control D. And on this wall, we will put a small window. Let's see. Window. These are all the windows. The windows themselves. Window wall. There we go. Okay. And we will put this as this one right here. Let's go to this scale here. Copy. Copy each and every one of these. This way, it's the same scale as the rest of the wall. Alright. And now we will turn it 90 degrees. Make it a part of these walls here. So let's actually take this into account. Copy. There we go. So now it's perfectly aligned with the wall. And as soon as we are done building the walls, we will go ahead and toss in a window whenever it's ready. Let's see, give me you. And you. Let's duplicate. This actually should be the perfect length for it. It's a bit smaller, but it's okay. Alrighty, there's that. And now to be a quick little cheat sheet, here's a new way to do it. Just duplicate it and pull it to the length you want it to be. Goes right through you. Alright, that looks to be about right. Let's go ahead and just take a quick look at how it feels. Alright. So that looks and feels like the room's a bit big. So actually we might go ahead and just decrease the size of this carpet here because it's supposed to be just a bedroom. Let's take a look and see how this feels. We'll just shorten it and get into the fold when you need to be. Yeah, this feels more like a bedroom. I probably shouldn't have expanded everything the way it needed to be right there. But, you know, shit happens. Let's go ahead and move you guys up against this wall here. It doesn't matter if it sticks out a little bit, because, again, it's going to be overlapped. Alrighty. I got dinged. Cool. By I got dinged, I mean people messaged me. Let's pull this down now. If anybody doesn't know, I'm actually doing this just a couple days before a hurricane is supposed to hit. This is weird. Something wrong there? What is that? What's the deal with this? This isn't right. Huh. That's not right. That does not feel right at all. Let's go ahead and delete that, because that did not feel right. Alright, so let's go ahead and move this. I don't know why it did that. That's going to puzzle me for the rest of the day. Alright, so now let's goop. And let's now move this into place. There we go. Let's see how this feels now. See, this feels like a little bit better in the bedroom. This feels a lot better. Okay, yeah, it's a lot better. I can change my height. I'm not sure if I want to, though. So let's go ahead and get rid of these things. Make sure we don't have anything else highlighted. Click out. There we go. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. So now we're going to add something different here. Let's go ahead and duplicate these. This is going to be a bedroom, but it's going to be in part of the dream sequence. So what we're going to do is sort of squeeze that by. Wall, door. Now we're going to need a little bit smaller. Much smaller than that. Alright, looks like we are actually going to be needing these to be moved out just a bit. And again, it's fine to have it like this because nobody's going to see the outside of this room. So it's okay to cut a couple corners with that. Alright, so now it's spin you 90 degrees. Let's put you in with the walls here. Let's go ahead and take you, copy your position, put it onto you so everything is in perfect unison, perfect placement. Now the reason I'm getting so close to this right here is because if you overlap these textures, then it'll show as like almost like TV static on the wall, and that's really, really annoying. Alright, click on this to see if I can see any light. Nope, we're good. Now we are going to put in a door. Not a double door. Not those, please. Doors. Here we go. Regular bedroom door. Let's be sure that this works the way I'm wanting it to here. Yes. Awesome. Pivots just as it's intended to. I wanted to be sure because I've never put these doors on there before. So, yeah. That's not to say that I've never tinkered with it. I just never had a need to have a door open before. Because usually the doors are open or you can walk straight through it. Edit, undo that. Paste. Copy. Paste. That right there actually might be just perfect size. But, to be 100% certain, let's go ahead and finish making it. That is way too bad. Undo that. Okay. That is a bit crappy. So let's just pivot it 90 degrees. Alright, that actually looks really, really good in terms of size. And we don't have to be too precise with how this sits on the wall, like in terms of its position. There we go. Let's increase the thickness by just a bit. There we go. Alright, let's get a feel for this. See how this looks and feels. Okay, so there's the door. There's a window. This actually looks pretty big for a bedroom, but it's still good for the bedroom nonetheless. Let's look up bed now, because we're going to start furnishing it. Before we put the ceiling on, of course. Did I import that bed asset? I might not have. That's a bedding. That's not what we're looking for. I know I put in an asset for a bed, but I'm not sure if it was the one I was looking for. Yes, I have downloaded a crap ton of assets. Also, just recently got the Humble Bundle thing that had $1,600 worth of stuff. That was absolutely unbelievable. This might be in the big furniture pack. Might take a minute, so I might zoom. Oh, wow, hello. I have yet to install my solid state hard drive, so yeah. I'm trying to get these videos, a couple of these videos out and done because I am evacuating for the Hurricane Florence. So I'm trying to get some of these done. Sorry this is taking so long. It's it has a time crunch at times. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so now we go to this bed. This bed currently does not have any textures, and none of these beds have any textures, it seems. So we will actually have to probably texture them ourselves, which won't be a problem. Big furnitures, sofas and chairs. None of these are textured, but we can fix that because they do have textures. Let me go ahead and pause this real quick. Right, sorry about that, everybody. I had actually just received a phone call asking me... sorry about that, everybody. I had just received a phone call from someone asking me if I was going to be okay in the storm, and which is very, very nice, but I will be fine. So let's get this quick bed. These probably need to be expanded on. So we want a double bed. Let's do that, because it's kind of unkept and it looks nice. That might actually not need to be enlarged too much. Let's go ahead and texture it. You probably hear people in the background right now, which is a little bit irritating. Floor normal. Ooh. That looks interesting. Let's go ahead and... No, that's a wooden floor normal texture. Never mind that. So let's put this right here on the bed. Change the cloth texture of the bed. Now we add this. Or do we add this? There we go. That actually looks a little bit better. Then for the pillows, pillows in the back, pillows in the front. We will need to go in gradually one by one and change that, like change their appearance. Or do we want to give it a dark wood feel? Let's give it the dark wood. Doink. Alright, so the bed itself does need to be rotated. Now, my current room's layout is the bed is right next to my door, which probably isn't my safest choice. There we go, it actually stays right on the ground. Now let's check this in comparison to the height of our player. First off, it's got no freaking mesh collider. But in terms of size, this door is actually a bit too tall. We're not 12 years old, for God's sakes. So we're going to need to increase the size of the bed. There should do. And now we rotated a full 180. So we're going to place it on the back wall. Another thing we're going to need to do is give it a mesh collider. Component, whoops, physics, mesh collider, furniture pack, prefabs, beds. There's no seem to be mesh. It's fair enough. So actually we can just add a box collider. I wasn't sure if I could pull a mesh out of that or not. Box collider. Let's edit the collider. You can probably hear a lot of stuff going on in the background right now. Everybody is prepping for getting out of here. I will be heading to actually my assistant creative director. I'm going to be heading to her house for the storm, so I will be safe on that front. She lives in Raleigh, which is 3 hours away. We'll probably still get hit with a whole bunch of stuff, but as of right now, I live on Oak Island. You can literally see the beach from my house. So whenever this thing hits, which it's already at a category 4, whenever this thing hits, it's going to hit hard, and I can't risk staying here. I stayed here through Hurricane Matthew 2 years ago, so that was a weird choice, but it still happened nonetheless. And we survived that, but that was like, what, tropical storm by the time it hit? We're going to go ahead and add that window real quick. It's a window wall. Kind of window. We want a tall window. And we want a window. There we go. We'll just use this one for right now. And we will turn it 90 degrees. Increase the size of it there. Ooh, the center is not right. Let's go and do this. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep it on the center in order to keep its size right. If you center between pivot and center, it actually changes the orientation that you're using it at, which is very useful. It took me months, and I'm talking months, to figure that out, and I just didn't even notice, because every time I try to make a character when they were holding something, it would screw up the rig on the mesh, and I searched. You have no idea how long to try to fix that. See if it's good. Okay, there we're good. All right, now let's take a look at how things feel. It's already starting to look nice. The bed is at an adequate height there compared to the window and the door. Let's go ahead and change our character's height. So her height is 1.8. Let's change it to 2. Hopefully we won't fall right to the floor. Much better. Probably going to need to raise her height again. I say it's a girl, but it's actually a guy. The character's name is Finn, so let's change it to 2.2. Not 22. God, I'm not a giant. Alright, so let's do that. I don't know why I clicked that. Much better. This is much better. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is starting to feel like advertising. Now, I'm 6'2", so I would probably likely smash my head on the top of that door, because I am a giant. So now we will go ahead and start furnishing it with other things. Let's go to, again, go back to assets, big furniture pack, prefabs. We will do the, where's the dessert table? Tables, all right. We're going to look for just like a regular computer desk. There we go. That actually is perfect. And we're going to set that right here. These are all going to be very, very base, very, very rough. There we go. That actually helps it keep on the floor. This is all supposed to just kind of simulate my own room, because that's what I'm going off of. So, and this is not a direct recreation. Do not think that. This is because I'm trying to go off of something familiar that I know very well of. Excuse me, good lords. And that's okay to do that. That's perfectly fine to do something like that, to go off of what you know. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Wood right there. Just as a temporary set. Let's go to prefabs again. Chairs. So for chair, what are you? Nope, we don't need you. We need like a regular, there we go, swivel computer chair. Just want to see if there's any more. Alley-oop. There we go. You know what's nice about this chair? It's not like mine, because, yeah, mine has no left arm piece. Black tile. This is probably not going to sit very well. There we go. As a matter of fact, let's create a new material. Change its color straight to black. Smoothen this, take it down just a bit. And then we go ahead and set that on the chair itself so that the black tile thing doesn't set in. And now, let's go back to big furniture pack, get the textures. Now let's not do the same cloth there. Let's, as a matter of fact, okay, yeah, we didn't use any of those. So let's go ahead and, why is it not working? It doesn't want to work. There we go. Let's change the tiling on this so it looks even remotely decent. 3 and 3. There we go. That's a little bit better. And now the wheels. We'll just put those back to the black. Once you go black, you never go back. And then we will proceed. Okay, Zane, you can jump if you want. Wrong one. Select the entire mesh, kids. Push that right into there. I know I have a computer pack somewhere in here. Search my purchased. I'm not sure if I imported this computer asset from CG Trader or something, or from the Unity store. I'm not sure. We will leave the computer for later then, I guess, if it's not going to show up. And now we need a dresser. There we go. Actually, let's go ahead and hit the search button. There we go. Holy snap. Alrighty. Now this is all just, oops, wrong button there, kid. Yes, I watch a lot of Kitchen Nightmares, hush. I don't know why, but I just love hearing Gordon Ramsay yell at people. This takes a minute, and for that much I apologize. It's a really detailed asset. Alrighty. Let's use prefabs. Put the tower. My tower's right next to my leg, so we'll go ahead and put this. That is a big tower. Yeah, that is huge. Holy shit. I didn't realize that asset was that big. Yeah, that's my nephew going off in the background. I apologize. I tell him to be quiet, but he doesn't listen. We're all still prepping for the move, for the evacuation. And as a matter of fact, we are given a mandatory evacuation for tomorrow at 7 a.m. Yes, it's going to be that bad. Let's go ahead and pivot it on a negative 90. There we go. That is a small tower. And which one? Is this one that's off? Yeah, we'll put the one that's off. And boy, look at that. That is huge. I mean, my computer screen's large, but it's not that fucking large. My monitor is actually an HD TV. Yeah. One my grandmother got for me actually a good couple of years ago. I would get a normal monitor, but shit sucks, and I'm broke. Support me on Patreon, which I might actually do that now that I think about it. Negative 90. Alright, let's push you back. Let's go ahead and put the keyboard in there too. Let's go ahead and just increase the size just a bit. Do negative 90 as well. Let's make sure this is directly on the mesh, on the chair, on the table, sorry. Alrighty. Now I think this asset pack actually costs something, so I'm not sure what I should do with that. Alright. It's actually quite small compared to the others. Rather large mouse pad, not the size of mine, which is really small comparatively, which is why it's hard for me to play shooter games, because it takes me forever to reach the table. You know, let's have a little bit of fun here. Maybe a little fun. Sort of cross-promote my game. Not exactly what I was going for, but alright. There we go. It's not perfect. Right. Promote my own game. Yeah. You can find this game on Steam, by the way. Let's go up to the top here. Alrighty. Raise it up again. We're gonna need to we are definitely gonna need to shrink it because I'm not using a whole hand for a damn mouse. Oops. Forgot to put the negative in there. Let's actually twist it a little bit differently here so it looks like it's been used. Alright, so that does that. We now need a dresser. Cabinets. We don't need that one. That's actually nice. Let's go ahead and throw that one in there. Let's increase the size a good amount. Rotate it 90. push it up against the wall. And let's give it some texture. We will give it the dark wood texture here. A regular blight wood, I guess. That is a lot to go through. Brighter wood here for the handles, just temporarily. All this is incredibly temporary until we can find better textures, so just to get it out of the way. Short, sweet, and to the point. There we go. Looks nice. Let's get a feel now for it again. Alright. That's actually too tall. We need to shrink that. We need to put box colliders on everything there. It's looking really nice. One of the big things with my rooms is that there's always clothes on the floor. That is kind of a problem of mine. I'm very unkept. There's that. Now let's see what else we can throw in there. Not mirrors, because I have a thing against mirrors. Mirrors actually kind of freak me out a bit. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm afraid of mirrors. I'm sorry. That is one of my things. Let's see, cabinets and racks. Yeah, let's do that one. Why? Because it's fun. Let's twist it. Just be a little. We go to that. Okay, yeah, that doesn't do it anymore. It used to be if you would move an object with the new, with a couple of the new updates, it would only, the direction change would only stay on wouldn't stay in one direction, so I guess that was a boon and a negative to some things. So yes, this is what we've got so far. I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here. We are almost finished designing this room. By the next video, the entire room will be designed, as will the secondary part of it. I'm just trying to kind of get you guys started with the world design itself. Oh, I forgot to add texture to this thing. So I kind of want to give you guys a feel of how things are going to be. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you guys like it and you want to see anything else. If you guys want to... Well, that's it. If you guys want to see anything else, just let me know. If you got any particular coding or scripting thing that you are stuck with and you need help on, let me know. I will do what I can to help you. My game, Livedale Forgotten Birthright, is currently on GameJolt. The demo is. If you guys want, you can go to that. My link for that's going to be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later.